Hello. How are you? And welcome to Bma's Crafty Corner. I am Bma, better known as Els to my friends. And we are going to be working on finishing up our, hi, Harry, our pirate journal. Look at Harry's here. Aren't we so lucky? I said hello, so you have to come up. I know the drill. So we're gonna cover a bunch of things, and then we're gonna get started on our journal. First off, I get this. We have been going back and forth with this for a while now. Okay, like the first message on this was over a month ago. Let me know when it gets there. Yada yada yada. Because I do have people that pay by check. I allow them to pay by check for a few reasons. One, it's the easiest way for them to manage their money. Okay. Two, they have been a member of my channel for 6-7 years. I have a relationship with them and I understand it. Now, I do ask that they make the checks out to my husband. Reason, I only have an online account that I manage the business through. So I can't deposit checks into that account. I have to put them in an account and then digitally transfer the money. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's okay. It works for me because it keeps our personal house accounts separate from, my business accounts. Before I get any further here, let me say hello. Hello, Miss Gypsy. Hello, Miss Marjorie. Hi, Marie. How are you? So this is not a problem. I mean, I've been doing this for several years. I gotta move my fan though because wow, it is hotter than Hades in here right now. Oh my goodness. Excuse me, kitty. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. So, and then, there's also times where if you get Social Security disability, sometimes they won't let you make payments through PayPal. It's, their way of trying to protect you, so on and so forth. So I get this letter. Finally, I mean, we've literally been a month now going back and forth with this. It's postmarked 6 days ago, and it is chewed up. Look at this. Mike comes in last night with it, and he goes, honey. I said, what? He says, if they could have done anything damaging to that thing, they've done it. So it's folded over. You can see where it went through the machine and got pulled out of the machine. There's tears the whole side. This was all torn open. And I was like, what the? And the end is pulled. And I was like, what the? And I looked in there, and thankfully the check was in there. But I'm going to say what happened to this is that it went through the machine and it got caught. And that's why this is crooked. And it got caught and they just never caught it. Like they never figured it out. And have faith, people. If you send me a check 9 times out of 10, it's actually going to arrive. But so, so yeah, so it was like, and the person who sent it to me was stressing because they were like, I really sent it. Like, I believe you 150%. I believe. If I don't believe you, I'm going to email you and go, did you really send me a freaking check or what? What's going on? Because I'm pretty straightforward. Most people know this. But I've had, like, even Arlene's checks. She has sent me a check that showed up a month and a half later. And I'll call her and go, honey, do you want me to cash this check? Because, it's been a month and a half. And she's like, no, it's okay. Once I take it out, it's gone. So you're good. Because I've had it happen. It happens all the time. I had another person who sent me a check 2 months ago. 2 months ago, she sent me a check, and she was, she recently purchased something, and I got back to her and I was like, hey, that check never arrived. She's like, oh, crap. All right, I'll cancel that check and write you a new one. Because what a pain in the ass. But yeah, this one, I'm going to say this one probably got caught in the machine because of the way this is. Because if I read that, 5412. Yeah, that was a while ago. So yeah, so it got probably caught in the machinery and torn up. And then when they were cleaning, because you can see all the markings, when they were cleaning the machinery, they probably found this one. Oh shit, we should probably get that going out. No, the mail is not what it used to be. Everything goes in the machine now. They just throw it in there in a big batch and the machine automatically starts feeding it. And if it, feeds in wonky or whatever, it gets jammed up. And only like once a month do they actually stop that machine to be able to go in there and clean out everything that's in it. I get it. Not convenient to people because, if you have time sensitive bills or you're waiting on legal paperwork or something, it's not a perfect freaking anymore. I've mailed packages from here to Phoenix. And it gets to Phoenix and it is destroyed. Like the only thing holding that together is the half a roll of tape. Y'all think that I use too much tape? I don't use enough tape. Trust me. As a matter of fact, Roseanne, we'll use this one. Roseanne, I sent her a package and she was like, and you guys know this happened like 2 months ago. Like every package, everybody was telling me, oh, it got destroyed. This was trash. And I was like, what the hell? Roseanne tells me that she watched her postal guy punt the package. And I was like, okay, so now it's like a vendetta between me and the postal carrier. So now I put all her stuff in a box. I use half a roll of freaking tape on the whole thing. Then I put it in a plastic bag. I have plastic bags that have 6-inch gussets at the back. I put the whole box into the bag. Then I tape the living crap out of it. I put about 6 or 7, French kick me buttons all over it. And then I put the label on and then I tape it again. And then I send it to her and she's like, nope, this one arrived perfectly. So if you get a box from me that is in a plastic bag and it's a box and it's taped from here to eternity, I apologize. I just don't want your shit exploding or being destroyed. Hi, Chris. Hello, Miss Mari. So that's what I do. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this. So this is the syllabus for Clusters 101. Right now I have it. It's going to be 5 weeks. Okay. We're going to go in. We're going to talk about selecting our images. We're going to talk about your design and what kind of things you should use and can use. We're going to talk about all, how clusters work and how, they actually are really good for everything in your journal. Also, we're going to talk about your color palettes. What colors complement what you're doing? Because you don't want to put in you could do 5 shades of blue, but you don't want to do 16 shades of blue, So we're going to talk about some color theory. So you're going to get your images or your kit. And then for homework, you're going to be fussy cutting all of your designs. In week 2, we're going to ink everything. And that includes extra pieces. So there's a whole list of supplies that you're going to need. You want to grab all of those. Then your homework is simply going to be finishing inking up everything. And the reason I say ink everything in advance is, yes, okay, you might waste some ink, but you will not forget to ink that one piece in the middle of your cluster. Then we're going to talk about how to make bases and what you can make bases out of. And then in week 4, we're actually going to put them together. Okay. And we're going to talk about perfection overload, how to make sure that you don't get stuck up on perfection overload. I have all of this stuff. How does it all go together? Okay. We're going to be talking about that. And then in the 5th week, we're going to talk about how you can use those clusters on things. Okay. I printed out the full digital kit from Marjorie, and I wanted to share that with you guys so that you can see it. So there's 10 pages. This is your first page. And you're going to see what I mean about the colors working together and all of that as we go through this. So that's your first page. And then there's the second page. Third. This is the fourth. This is your fifth page. Look at this. Look at these beautiful eggs. Your sixth page. The seventh page. Did you see how all these colors work together? Of course, there's the bumblebee page that we've been looking at. And then you've got another, like a gardening one. Here's like a ship one, which I might actually use something from this in the pirate journal. But that's all 10 pages. And as you can see, all of these colors work together. You know, there's little bits of like tans and browns. There's some reds in here, and those reds work with these reds. So you'll see, we're gonna make some stuff. I had 2 people that purchased this that sent me their purchase, and so I have printed those out for them. And so if you would like to have this printed, you can, you know, get in touch with me and get the printing done. Let me go ahead and put this in real quick. Hello, come up. Yes, you. What is my computer today? Okay. Good for her. So this is the link to go over to Marjorie's page and pick up this 10-sheet set of cluster pieces. Okay. So if you want to go do that, you can do that. So BMA001 gets you half off. It's currently listed at $2.99. And so you get half off. So it's about $1.50. But if you get that and you send me a screenshot that says, you know, that you purchased it, the Etsy screenshot, I will print it for you and send it to you. It's like $2 for the shipping. That's it. Okay. Ooh, somebody got happy now. Okay. So all of that has now been, you know, we've talked about all of that. Is there anything else on my list of things that I wanted to talk about? I think that's it. Going to the post office again today. I have some more stuff to take to the post office and to take to UPS. So I'm going to be doing that this afternoon. My niece is coming in Friday night. So let's get into this pirate thing. All right, we have a cover. We have what was one signature, which we have divided into 2. And somewhere in here, I will find it, is did I lose it? Oh, you know what? I don't think I did one for this journal. I didn't, because we weren't sure if we were going, what we were going to be doing. So I hadn't done the template yet. Okay. So we had one signature and we kind of divided it into 2. Why? Because when we put it all together in one signature, it was way too much. Okay. Let's see. Go in here, put this back in. So that's our single signature. And I just don't know how this is going to fit. So let's put that there. See what I mean? It's like, it's too much for the spine. So this is going to get divided into 2 pieces, and we're going to make this bigger. Bigger. We need to make this bigger. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this original spine out. Scary. Because we want to use these covers. So we're going to take the spine out. I don't think that I have any burgundy. I wonder if I can get that off of there. All right, so we're going to work on this cover. I'll be right. Give me a second. Okay, I got some chipboard. Hi, Arlene. Okay, so I got some chipboard because, you know, we need to make a new spine. So let's take this old one out. And I want this to be about as straight as possible. Razor blade. Okay. All right. So we have that off. And then we're going to take this one off. Okay, so we've taken out that 1/2 inch spine. We'll get rid of that. Now, this is not perfect, and I'm going to leave it because I need the most space I can get here because I've already made the journal. And now we're going to go to a 1 inch spine. So we need this to be 10.5. Okay. Now let's check. Yeah, this is going to have to be double thick. So let's cut a second one. We're going to have to build a spine. So okay, let's make sure these are the same size. They are. We're going to cut them down to 1 inch. All right, my blade is not as sharp as I would like it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and take a piece off. I don't just put those in the trash can, by the way. I actually put them like in something solid. All right, so we're going to take this. I could have probably just gotten it out of this, but you know, what the hell. So this is a 3-inch wide spine. So if I take off 1 inch, I'll leave a 2-inch spine, which will work for something else. So. And then we'll take 1 inch off the other one. And then we're going to build a spine. Build a spine. Well, that was bad. Let's try that again. All right, let's see. How did we do? Not too bad. It's not fabulous, but it's not too bad. Okay. Yes, I'm mathing. Scary, isn't it? All right. So now, that's pretty good. I'm going to take just a hair off the bottom of these. Because I have to allow for wrappage. Wrappage? That's a word. Shush. It is. Okay. Perfection. All right, so we're going to glue these together. Where's my glue? Gluey, gluey, glue. I don't think I've ever used this side of it. So this is Same glue I always use for bookbinding. It's just, it's thicker than my art glitter glue. And I've never used this side of the applicator. Boy, what a pain in the butt. Okay. So now we're going to put these together. I'm going to put some clips on. We're going to let this dry for a couple of seconds. Okay. We're going to need that, so we'll keep it down. All right. Really nothing I can do with these little pieces, so I'm going to get rid of them. So, what are you guys up to? What have you guys been doing? It's been 2 days. I got to tell you, guys, I was having withdrawals. I almost went early this morning because I was like, I need my B-ball. I dreamed about you guys last night. I did. I had a very weird dream, and it was about you people. That's scary. Okay, so now, here's what we got. We have a couple of options for our repair. So we have canvas. It's a cream color. We would have to ink the holy living crap out of this. We have this thinner stuff that is like a green colored canvas. I don't think that's going to work. We do have a leather repair, but it's not the right color. And we also have black book cloth, which I think is what we're probably going to end up going with. But these are all good options for doing, you know, your spines on your journals, because these are already adhesive. These are repair tapes. This one is for canvas. This one is for leather. This one is again for canvas. This is a more outdoor canvas. This is more of like a indoor type canvas. But this is a lightweight canvas. This is a heavyweight canvas. This is like a faux leather for like couches and chairs and things. Kind of cool stuff. This is book cloth. This is going to be in next month's sale. This exact piece, actually. Not this exact piece, but you know. So this is pre-made book cloth. You can buy this. You can buy it on Amazon if you want. I make it here and sell it. But you can get this on Amazon, okay? You don't have to get it from me. I'll tell you, on Amazon, it's expensive as hell. But it comes from Lineco, Lineco, Lineco. They are the manufacturers. You can also pick this up a couple of other places. That ought to be about 3 days. Oh my God, did I say that? I'm so sorry. It's true though. All right, so it comes actually longer than this, but this is, you know, plenty for a book. I cut this down, and it's 9.5 inches by 17. So probably 1, 2, 3, at least 4 journals of our normal size. This one is different. It's a little taller. And the reason I pulled this one is because it's got a little damage right here. I don't know what that is. I think it's got water or something on it. So our strips are about 10.5. So we're going to go 12.5. I'm going to cut this way, which is not the normal way that I would tell you to do this, but I'm going to cut my length on this side right here at 12.5. That's going to be fine for another book cover. Take that off. And then our spine is 1 inch, so I'm going to go, I think, 3. Yeah, I'm going to go 3. So. Okay. Yeah, because that'll give me 1 inch on either side and then about 1 inch top and bottom to put this spine in. Now, because I am putting in a new spine, I want to make sure that I have stable coverage. So, so I'm going to try and find my it is not where it was supposed to be. This is Tyvek. We're going to grab a sheet of this. And we're going to cut a couple of strips of this. I'm thinking it's 11 inches, so that'll be plenty. And then I'm thinking we'll probably go like 2.5. Get the bigger ruler. It makes life easier. Arlene throws me to the wood. Well, Elle said it out loud. All right, I'm going to do this at 3 inches. So 3 on each side. I'm going to cover this, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. Okay. So now I have all my bits, pieces, and parts. I know some people that need a spine. Big time. All right. So here's our cover. We're going to work the inside first. So I'm going to use my board and the lines on my board to make sure that I get this lined up. Take a little more off this Tyvek. Be careful when you're cutting Tyvek. This stuff is slippery, okay? All right, so we're going to put this right here. Glue. Glue. Gluey, gluey, glue. Gluey, gluey. Now, you use your glue any way that you want. I used to do this out of a jar and brush it on, but this little applicator, believe it or not, is fantastic for this because it spreads it as I'm applying. And I'm going to get out my brayer. I'm going to put this down. And then I'm going to put my spine in. It's kind of right on that line. All right. Okay. May have to go a little wider on that. All right. So we're going to put this one on. And then I got to get that space in there. Right about there. And then we're going to glue this down. Okay. Oops. Now I gotta get my space back. This is why I always say let it dry. I'm going to cut this a little wider. This out of the way. All right, so we cut the original one at 3, and I'm going to cut this one at 3.5. Okay, which leaves me another 3, so I'm good. All right. We're going to bring this back. There, that'll work. So we're going to put our glue on here. Down the edges. Quit rolling. Where's my ball? Damned if I know. Go. There. There. Now, if you want to have like those little lines in here, you could put a piece of string across, like here, 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 to make, kind of give it that look, if that's, something that you're interested in. But we'll talk about that when we get into the spine, when we do our in class, Okay, here we go. So we're going to turn this over. I'm going to bring this over the top. And press all this in. And over here. Bring this up. Press it down. In with our 1 inch. Why am I pressing that down? Well, I want those to meet. I want to push them together in that piece. All right, so now we have redone our spine. It's much bigger now. Okay, clean up my glue so it doesn't stick and put it back up in the thing. All right. Now I'm going to let this dry in this position for a little bit, and we'll go ahead and make our template for this. So I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper that is wider than we need, but at least, 10.5 inches tall. Do, 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 do. Okay. So this is piece 12-inch cardstock. And how big did we make our spine? Our spine is an inch. So I'm going to cut a 1-inch strip. To make my template. Stop making that really hard, else just cut it on the damn trimmer. Okay. All right, that's my template. We're going to take 2 inches off because, no, it's 10.5, yes? So we're going to take 1.5 inches off. All right, so that's my template. first things first, let's find where we're putting our stitching. So we fold it in half. Then we're going to fold in about an inch down. And then we're going to fold the fold into the middle. And the fold into the middle. That gives us our nice set where we're going to be putting our stitching. And then we want to have 2 lines down the middle to stitch in our signatures. So I'm actually going to use my scoreboard for that so that I make sure those lines are straight. So I'm going to mark here, 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 and here. And then I'm going to fold those lines, because that is going to be where my signatures get stitched in. As always, I'm going to mark top. I'm going to mark A and B because I have 2 signatures. One's A, one B. And I want to make sure that they end up in the right place. Pokey tool. Okay, so we're going to go back in here and take out our center signature, which I believe was right here. So this now becomes A. And this one now becomes B. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and punch holes in A first, because it's got to go in the book. Where's my Pokemon? Oh. There she blows. This is where I'm going to check. Check pages. Take out anything that might cause a problem. We're looking to make sure that everything is, nothing's, catching on anything else. And I think this one's good. So let's Hold on. It doesn't want to be. I need you to be down in there nice and tight. Because I had such a big signature, this thing's going to be a little difficult to play with. Hence, we are using the much larger clips. By the way, these have nothing to do with paper in any way, shape, and or form. These are hem clips. Yes, now it's time to booby trap your pages. Now, because our pages are slightly smaller, we want to kind of eyeball this. And mark it. This is actually supposed, it's going to help later on when we do the other signature to make sure that they're both lined up properly. So we're marking it on both sides. Okay. And then keeping this as upright as possible, I'm going to go in here and find my spots and poking my holes. 1, 2, 3. Oops. See, I moved it. Okay. Yay! Okay. That's one. We're going to do the other one too. I'm not unclipping this. Need some more clips. All right, so now we're going to take this one. Remember, keep your letters on them so you know which one goes where. So this is B. We're going to find the middle of B. We're going to check to make sure that nothing in here is catching, that the pages all open easily. Fantastic. Okay. We're going to the B. See that line that we put on the first? It's there now. We know where it is. So now we're going to put this in. Make sure our pages are even, and then we're going to line up the lines. Clip our pages together. Do I use clips all the time? No, I've been doing this for a long time, but this is one of those do as I say, not as I do things. You know what I'm talking about? Like if you're making your first journal, don't try to bypass anything because you're like, well, I've seen Els do it that way. Don't do that because Els is bad. Els is bad, bad, bad. She should do it the way that it's supposed to be done. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is B. Off to the side. Why? Because now we're going to poke holes in this. Bye, Josie. Now, decide what's top, what's bottom. Where's this going? Well, we can't do that yet because we still need to cover the inside of this because this looks like dog shit. So I am going to go up into my print file here. This is it. I'm going to look for the pages that I want to use for the end page, which is this one right here. And I'm going to get rid of everything. Delete, 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 delete. Ooh. Okay, I got 2 pages. I'm not sure which one I want to use. Edit, select all, delete, insert, upload. Well, I have a couple of choices. So let's take a look. Let me go on my Google Drive real quick because I think that's where it is. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. I need the tall one. So I'm just trying to figure out which one, what page I want to use as a background for my end pages. And I don't think I want it to be too colorful. I would like it, I think, to be a map, but I don't want it to be too distinct. All right. Nope, that's not going to work. Guys, help me out here. What do we need? We need Okay, we're going to try this one. Okay, here's our problem. I need something tall. Welcome back, Chris. I need something that's tall. So let's see. A nap. I mean, we need a nap, right? Oh, I'm telling you, I could have used a nap the other day. All right, let's go back in here. Let me look. Yo ho, it's a pirate's life for me. I could do two. I think the end pages should be the same, though. What do you guys think? Tell me. Should I do different end pages or the same end pages? Like, should it be the same front and back? Or matching. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So, okay, so I got a couple of options. One of them is, I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to regret this, but we're going to do it. Okay, here we go. Okay, one of them is this page in its entirety. And the other one, which is this page, this one right here. Okay, let me pull this out so we can see. I have that page, which I think will work. Or I have the page with the lines that has the really like heavy pirate theme on the edge. But I'm afraid that it's either going to be like bland on one side. I don't know. It might fit the whole damn thing. Okay. All right. Let's do that. All right. So let's do, I'm going to take this one off. And then we're going to insert another page here. I'm going to do this one. No, that's the wrong one. Let's do another one. It's the one on the end we want. Okay, so we want these two. And I'm going to try and get this as close as I can printing it. So I'm going to measure what I need. So I need this to be about 7 3/4 this way by 10. Okay. All right, so we're going to send these to the print. Let me get 2 heavy pieces of paper because we want this printed thickly. Thickly. Shush. It's an L's-ism. We're going to call it an L's-ism. All right, so we're going to print those. Candy. All right, so let me get this out of the way real quick. I'm going to trim these down on the trimmer. We want them to be 7 3/4, so I'm going to take off the edge first. We want to make sure we're inside all of that white business. Okay, 7 3/4. Oh.
Wait.
Now let's see. Let's see where we're at. Yep. Okay. I'm going to take off the top. And I think we said we wanted this to be 10. I'm going to double check my math because I'm an idiot sometimes. Yep, 10. So we want this to be exactly 10 inches this way. I think, no, can't. Because if we do that, we're going to take off. We don't want to do that. So, all right, 10 inches this way. Because we want to cover all of the white for the existing book end page without having to do anything weird. Okay, so we're going to cut another piece that size, which is 7 3/4 by 10. So we're trimming off the edges, and then we're going to do this. Okay. All right. Now we're going to bring this in. Wow. Scissors, huh? I have these. These are from Westcott. They're Westcott titaniums. Antimicrobial. I've had these forever. Forever. Of course, I have 900 pairs of scissors, so. All right. So now we're going to put these end pages on. I don't want any of this white to show. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my dauber and just go around it. That way, if any of it shows, it doesn't show. You know what I mean? You could use a brush for this, absolutely. But I just don't want the blaring white to show in the event that the paper doesn't like cover, because you don't know if this is perfectly straight. You know what I mean? So this may not be perfectly straight. So if you go to put your end paper down and you put it down like it's perfect here and here, but this piece goes crooked, it could end up like this little piece down here will come out. So whenever you're working with a previously printed book like this, just save yourself some frustration. Now I could do it in black, but the color that I'm, using on this is, and I want to get right in here by the fabric, because if anything's going to show, that's especially where it can happen. So I don't want that little white peeking out. And the reason I'm using the brown is because that's what I'm going to ink these in. So it'll blend. But, if you got black on your desk, use it, So I bought this pair of Westcott years ago at Michael's, and I've used it for a long, long time. I went into Walmart, and I was like, all right, I don't want to go to Michael's just to buy scissors. I'm going to buy the same. So I bought a pair that looks very similar to these, and I don't like them at the Walmart. But let me tell you about the Walmart, guys. So yesterday, I ran out of my lotion. I use this for a couple of different things. Mostly on my arms, because I have crepey skin. And so I use it on my arms to try and, keep the skin from being so thin and the dogs from, ripping it off when they jump up. And, well, I ran out. So I said to myself, you need to go to Walmart for some other things. Just pick up some lotion while you're there. Keep in mind, this is distress ink. So it for a little bit, it's going to have, so don't be putting glue directly on this. That's wet. So I said to self, you should probably get some lotion while you're there. And I went, okay, I'll do that. And then I said, let me just see. Because I had Amazon open. I was looking for something else. And I said, how much is it on Amazon? I'll just order it and have it delivered. Walmart has different sizes of my lotion at different price points. And that does not compare to the ones that are on Amazon. So I was like, what the hell? So I did a little investigation and I checked the prices on the stuff at Amazon. And you know what I found? Amazon's actually cheaper. You would think that Walmart would be the cheaper option here. But it's not. No, it's not. Amazon was the cheaper option for my lotion based on cost per ounce. Arlene loves all colors, guys. She just gives me shit about pink. Pink is not my favorite color. It doesn't mean I hate it. It's just not my favorite color. And that's not, and what it is it's I don't like light colors. I'm a jewel tone kind of person. I like dark, deep, rich color. So it's not that I dislike pink. I'm not big on pastels. And to me, pink is flat, basically a pastel. All right, now we're going to put this one on. Again, trying to line it all up. I will give you this. This is the one thing I do like about this particular type of glue, this heavier glue, is you get a little wiggle time. It doesn't like set in stone. You know what I mean? Okay. And here's what we're talking about. So I have this on here. You see that book? Yeah. So not so great. All right, where's my, there it is. Like, where's my rolly thing? I need my rolly thing. Okay. Now we have to address this issue. No, you girl, be happy. I always say, be happy in what you got, And sometimes, I'm going to be honest, sometimes you look at something and you're like, I don't think I'm going to like that. And then you put it on and you're like, that is so perfect. You know what I mean? So, as I always say, you do you, boo. All right, so other ways that I can cover and conceal this little issue over here. I could put rickrack on the inside of this book or lace on the inside of this book, which I might do to cover this. I'm going to get out some rickrack and we're going to look and see if we want to do that. And I'll tell you why. We have about a 1/16 of an inch up here, almost an 1/8 of an inch there, perfectly straight here. This line is straight. I've checked it on the board. And there's just a hair over here that's also coming out. So do we want to put some lace or trim or rickrack on the inside of the cover? Now is when we're going to decide if we're going to do that. But we also have to cover this part here because that is, well, I mean, just look at it. Yes. I used to do that too. I used to have the Playgirl underwear that came in all the different colors and the bras that matched. And so, like, whatever color my shirt was, that was the color my bra and panties were that day. It was weird. Now I figure if I can get into them without falling over, it's a good pair. You know what I mean? Because I am at that point where I'm still too grumpy, we'll say, to sit down and put my underwear on. You know what I mean? You get to that point where you're like, no, I can do this. And then have you ever stood there and like, okay, I'm gonna ask this question because we're friends. No, because you guys really are my friends. I'll tell you about that later because I told you guys earlier I had a dream about y'all. Y'all were in my dream. I didn't have it about you, but you were in my dream. So do you ever like put on your clothes and in your head you ask yourself, how did I used to do this? Get off my book. Get off my book. Get down. Get down. Look, here's a knee. Use it. Get down. Thank you. You're lucky if you're wearing two pieces of the same pajama set. Because, like, I have put on my underwear and, like, I'm putting them on. You know? I'm like, okay, I stand there and I hold my underwear in one hand and I hold on to whatever's next to me and I put it down and I put my foot into it. Sometimes my toe gets caught and I have to quickly reverse, backpedal, backpedal, backpedal. But sometimes, it goes right on. And then I have to turn around so I can hold on with the other hand and hold the underwear in the other hand so that I can put the other leg in. And I ask myself, how did I used to do this? And I cannot remember for the life of me how I used to put on my underwear. That little voice in my head does not tell me. I should have flipped this image because this would have looked cooler if it was the other way. But c'est la vie, I did not do that. Yeah, like it's weird, right? As long as I'm not the only one. All right, so we need to cover this. What are we going to cover it with? Do we want to put a piece of black paper here? Do we want to put a piece of, there? How do we want to do this? I'm thinking maybe some lace. If I have some wide black lace, let's see what we have. In the bin-o lace. Okay. Bin-o lace. This is not all the lace I have, obviously. I can go out and go shopping in the shop if I need to, but you know what would be good? I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this. You know what would be good? The lace we just had in the sale. The black. Hold on. Not the last one, because I don't have any more of that. You guys took all that. Oh, oh, oh. Let me go grab it. Oh, oh, oh. I know where it is. This may not be wide enough. It's not going to be wide enough. I know it's not. That would have been cool. Hold on. Nope. It's not going to do it. Okay. All right, back to the lace bin. Okay. Looking to see black, wide. Wide-ish. I don't have anything black and wide, I don't think. Most of my black is like 1 inch. No, that's not good. Okay. Oh, I wonder if we could do this. And just change out the lace on top. I think we could do that. And then change the lace on the top. Let's take a look. We'll build a lace. We'll build a trim. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's get some of this. Cut it there. Let's take this off. This is stitched on, but it's not stitched on fantastically. So let's see. Dee, 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 dee. Oh, yeah. Nope, I just sit in this chair for giggles. Seriously? Well, it seemed like fun at the time. Okay. All right, so we've got this little piece of finished edge burlap, which I'm going to get all of the purple thread off of because we don't want that purple thread. Right, okay, here we go. So now if we put this in, it's just wide enough to cover that. And then I've never done it this way before, but what if we did this and then we put rickrack down both sides? Yeah, those chairs are so freaking comfortable. All right, so we're going to ink this. Again, we're just inking to bring down the whiteness so it's not so blaring. Then we're going to put this in. And then, yeah, we'll do rickrack around. It'll work. It'll work. Sometimes you just have to think on the fly. Fabre tac. Always choose the rickrack. Okay, let me get this to the right length. All right, let's see. Hi, Hubbard.
Hello.
All right, here we go. Waiting for the bog of eternal stench to descend. Now, this is burlap, so I am running a risk here of having the glue seep through. But since I'm going to put lace over the top of it, I'm not really worried about it. You know, since I'm going to put lace on the edges and stuff, and then this is going to have the pages. Okay. Chris, stop looking. Stop looking. You need to take a breath and stop looking. Because if you continue to look, you're just going to get yourself frustrated. All right, Rick and Rack is in the Arlene box because it's one of her favorite things. Rick and Rack. Should we use vintage Ricky Racky? Do 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 do. This is wider than that, so I think we'll use this one. We're gonna use some vintage Ricky Racky. You know, I know this is vintage. 25 cents. That and the cellophane just falls apart. Cellophane. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's a nice wide Ricky Racky. We have to decide if this is the one we want or if we want the thinner one. So I'm going to get the other one out and we're going to look at them side by side and decide if we want one that's this wide or if we want the thinner. Okay. So let's get the end of this one. Where's it? There it is. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put these on the edges so we can see both of them. A or B? Okay, honey, get some rest. Now remember, we're going to go all the way around the book, all the way around. All right, let's put this one in a go around. You can all see. Okay. I'm trying to look at it. All right, let's get these up. Okay. No, I actually agree with you, Marjorie. I think that once it's on and it goes all the way around, I think it's wah in your face. Now, I'll tell you guys what I do when I do this is I always put it down and then I look at the camera to see what it says there. Because that's a better view than what I see. But I think you might be right. I think that if I use the bigger one, if I had something in between, that would be perfect. You know, if there was one a little bigger than this, but not quite that big. And I don't think I have that. And then so I would go with the less is more technique. Because I think when I use this, when I'm going around corners and stuff, I just think that this just, and it's not thin enough to cover up what we want to cover. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about when I look at this. So there's that imperfection. When I put this on here, in order to keep it inside the book, do you see? It doesn't cover it. I don't know. Okay, I'm going with the little one. I know I'm going against the flow here, but all right. So I always start somewhere in the middle. Usually I start here or here when I go around, but since we're not covering here, and we're going this because we're covering, this is the part we want to cover. I'm going to start in the middle of this. Okay. Dankeschön, darling, Dankeschön. All right, so you guys were my dream last night. So, like, not like you were walking around in it, okay? Here we go. I'm going to take this. So, I woke up this morning. I don't remember dreams often. Usually when I do, it's for other reasons. Other than, I'm not that person that walks into the room and goes, God, I had such a weird dream last night. So, I was sleeping and I had a dream that Hubbard and I were having a conversation about our move. Now, I know what brought this on. Next week, the merger's supposed to go through. And to be honest, they have not been very forthcoming. And so we have a little, we have questions. But so I was sleeping last night and I had this dream. And in my dream, Hubbard was talking to me about his pension and everything, because they're saying they're going to be paying the pension out. Like if you've been there more than so many years, rather than put your pension with the new pension fund, they're going to pay out your pension.
There's no new pension fund.
Oh, there's no new pension fund. They're going to pay it out. Okay. But it's going to be based on, like, how long you've been with the company and all that stuff. But they haven't really said anything about, how they're going to be paying it out. Is it going to be a monthly payment? Or are they just going to pay it out and you can enroll it into, like, an IRA or something? They really haven't done that. So he has a lot of anxiety right now. And when he has that anxiety, I have anxiety. He's the only person that I get that with. There we go. So I'm having this dream last night, and we're talking about his pension and what's going on, and we're going to move, and because our original plan was to move in probably 3 to 5 years. But if he can continue to work from home after the merger, and everything's going to change, there may not be any reason for us to stay here at this point. Now, I started this one up here, so I'll start this one like down here. Okay. So we're having this whole conversation. And he says to me, he's like, honey, you're a city girl. So I don't want to move you out to nowhere. And I'm like, I'm fine. And he's like, no, I don't want you to have to give up your friends and your lifestyle and everything. I'm like, my friends are all online. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. So as I went through the dream, I went live and I was like, if I move someplace rural, you guys aren't going to leave me, right? I know, it's stupid, but dreams are dumb. That's kind of the way they are. So you guys were in my dream. We're getting ready, we're in my dream, we're getting ready to move, and Harbor's worried about, me leaving all my friends. And I'm like, my friends are online. I know, leave them. I just move away, go bye-bye. This is going to be a real pain in my ass. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to just do that. Okay, I'm going to cut it way over here. Okay, that was going to be a pain in the butt. Okay, so now we're going to try and get this corner as far out as we can to cover that. There we go. We're coming out. Turning the corner. This is such a pain in the butt to do. There we go. I'll ask him. Chris wants to know how long before the yurt village is up and we're accepting wayward crafters.
When I have a backyard bigger than an acre.
Okay, so when we move and buy acreage, then he's going to put the yurt village out. And then all the stray crafters can show up. Yeah, well, we just came in. You just came in. That's why he wants to go out now. You know how he is. Do they still love me? I have to pee. Okay. Now we're going to let this dry. We have a little tiny piece of rickrack left.
The yurts will go up when I can say the phrase, it's on the back 40.
Michael be overrun by crafty women, but it'll be okay because he can just turn around and go to your yurts.
It's at the back 40. Enjoy the walk. Have fun. Bye-bye.
Grace says,
Wait.
thunder? Is it like really coming down?
It's a little more than a dribbly.
You can hear it?
I can hear it.
I have rain. My head is going to stop soon.
Ginger, come on.
No.
Come on.
Okay, so now we have the inside of our book complete.
Ozzy, your girlfriend wants you outside. Come on. No, she's coming in. Great. I get back to doing what I'm supposed to do. Ooh.
I'm doing it. I'm going to put a little bit of rickrack across the top and the bottom. Why? Because I have a little piece here that I can use up. So we're just going to put it right across there. There and here. Darling Dr. Shane. I don't know. That song's in my head. That's in my head, and
How the hell am I supposed to know?
what's the other one? You and me against the world. When all the others turn their backs and walk away, I'll be here to stay. And when remembering will have to do, your memories alone will see you through.
How am I supposed to know?
I know. Thunder only happens when it's raining. And players only love you when they play. They may come and they will go.
Yes.
When the rain washes you clean, you know. You will know. Oh, you know. All right. I'm going to let this all dry before I poke stuff. So I guess we're going to poke it tomorrow because it's got to dry. So we're going to put this away. Okay. Oh, we get to put this away too. Well, because we're down to the poke section, you know. And then I guess we'll put this because that's all that's left of that roll. We'll put that in there too. Why not, right? Okay, here we go. We'll have to find a place for that because it's a really cool ribbon and I like it. All right, here we go. All right. I'm a very messy girl. Damn. All right, so that's up. That's up. Put that back on there. I'll fill that later. Put this up. Get that put away because I'll have it roll off the desk and it will impale my foot. All right, we are done with that won't fit. Let's see. What else, if anything, do we have in here that might fit? Oh, that one will fit. In you go. Okay, there's that. Oop, that goes in the other case. So does that. Okay. So it's that. All right. Guys, I have got to clear out my washi tape. Seriously. Because there's washi tape in here I will never use. And I'll tell you how that happens. I didn't buy it just because I had to have it. I bought it because there was something else in the set that I wanted, you know, and there was more than one.
Oh, it's stopped.
I'm sorry, honey. Because, you know, like when you buy washi, you buy it like by the set. And like sometimes I will buy a washi and it's like I want a specific one or two or three that are in there. And there's like 6 ones and maybe I only want 3 of them. And so I end up with washi that I don't necessarily want. And, you know, what the hell am I going to do with it? That goes in the other bin too. What are these doing in here? They going? Oh, I pulled these for when we did the strawberry journal. Okay. That makes perfect sense. That would be why they're in here. You know, come to think of it, I probably won't use these strawberry ones again for a while because, you know, let's just get those out of there. What's that? Any other strawberry ones in here? I don't see any. But I do see some that, like, quite honestly, I won't use because they're very specialized, you know? Like the cats. Like, if I take all the cat washi out of here, holy crap. I had to get my granddaughter over here because she's the one that organizes all this stuff. I don't organize this shit. I give it to Shay. Fix it. She fixes it. Okay, so all of these actually belong in the big bin. I don't know why they're in here. Okay, let me get the big bin. Okay. All righty. That. There. Go there. Those are next month's giveaways. Okay. So now we can put all of these in here. This used to be very organized. And then I unorganized it. And so my granddaughter will come over and she'll fix it. She will. I don't know what it is, but she loves doing this. She puts them in holidays, like all of the St. Patrick's goes together, all the Christmas goes together. I love her because I'm not that organized. Y'all think I am, but I'm not. That's my granddaughter who does that. I have to be honest. My grandkids were raised totally right. When we go on our road trips, if there's a town mentioned in a 70s rock song, like we were going through Arizona, we were going into Winslow, and Shaylee sees it. She's like, very quietly, I hear, standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. And her brother's in the back. What a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my Lord. I'm just dying because that's how they are, you know. Oh my God.
Earworm for the day.
Yeah. All right, let's see. It's beautiful. Okay, now we have to do the thing, which we're going to do tomorrow. Now, I could poke it this way, but what's going to happen is I get the evulsions on the back, so I'm not going to do that. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take these letters and put them on the back of this. Backwards. This is A and this is B. Because I'm going to put this out here. Just like that. Okay? And so this is the A one. And this one would be the B signature because I want my eruptions to be on the other side. Okay. So, we're going to do this part tomorrow and get this book stitched together. Let's take a look at where we are with the next journal. What do we have? So let me go up to the top here so I can pull it up. And I'm going to refresh it. Ba-ba-ba. Ooh, ba-ba. All right, so we have.
Hey, Joshua, this is Mike, the Cox Business Support, calling in reference to
the Titanic,
3311,
the Edwardian Diary,
just trying to follow up on the WebEx,
which is the book that shall not be named. We have Dark Macabre, Cute Robots, and a ring bound from Dies.
Give us a call back, be greatly appreciated.
Ring bound has 1 vote. Cute Robots has 3 votes.
Curious to find out how things are going with those 3 users.
Dark Macabre has 5 votes. 5 of the votes. Edwardian has no votes. And the Titanic has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 votes. So that includes 2 votes by proxy for each, 1 for Titanic, 1 for Dark Macabre. So if you are, if you're not on Facebook and you'd still like to vote, those are your choices. It's Titanic, the Edwardian Diary, Dark Macabre, Cute Robots, or Ring Bound from Dies. And you can get in touch with me or Arlene or whoever, and, you know, we can vote for you. Just get a hold of somebody who's able to vote in through Facebook, and you can go ahead and vote in Facebook, okay? I'm going to probably end up moving this over to YouTube. I don't know. At some point. But those are our choices. Bye, Candy. Those are our choices. So we're going to, you know, I'm going to clip this to this so I don't lose it because I'm famous for that. And we'll do the whole thing, have to do the whole thing over. Tomorrow we're going to be putting the signatures in. What else? I don't know. Let's get the book down. What's in the book? What does the book say? I'm going to put this in here one more time. This is the link for or not. What the hell? Let me grab this again. There we go. That's the bit.ly link, guys. It's the link to Marjorie's shop where you can pick up the Cluster 101 packet if you want to use the packet that comes with the class. Also, let me grab this one real quick. Copy this link. Come back over here. Well, that's what we're here for. This is a link to my Google Drive where you can pick up a copy of the syllabus for the next free class. The next free class is going to be Clusters 101. We're going to make clusters, guys. Why? Because I did not realize when we did, I know, shush, bad L's, should have done this in the opposite. I should have done clusters first and then did the journals. But I thought that just doing, 2 weeks or 3 weeks on clusters was going to be enough, but it's not. So we're going to, we're going to do more on it. But this is probably going to start in September. I think the second week of September, maybe the third. Just depends on where the current class ends. But if you want to get a copy of the syllabus, that second link is to my Google Drive, and I have completed the syllabus. So if you've looked at it and you've been like, okay, it's not a draft anymore. This is it. Okay. Also, the first link there is the link to go to Marjorie's shop, where you can get the kit that we designed. Well, I didn't design it. I gave her the idea, told her what I was looking for, gave her parameters. This is what she gave me back, because I love Marjorie. She's always in my head. This is exactly what I was looking for. So it's 10 pages of beautiful stuff. It all works together. The color schemes all fit. So you can take something off of page 1 and put it on page, here we've got like colors of green, and those colors of green, they work throughout. The red works, the blue, it's all very muted color, and it all works from one piece to the next, so that we can really, have a variety of stuff. But there's your 10 pages. It's 10 different themes legitimately, but they all work together. So you have you have butterflies here. You have kind of like a cabinet of curiosities. You have bugs. You have botany. Well, this one's more like herbology. Then you have botany. Then you have like a field study of birds. Then there's like water. And then there's the bumblebees. And then there's like a gardening one and like a ship's log kind of thing. So you've got, but these all work together, guys. They all work together fantastically. So that's going to be that. Again, it is a free class. You are not required to buy anything. You are not required to pay anything. If you have stuff like this that you would like to use, get it out. You don't have to use this kit, but we've created the kit so that you have what you need, and it gives you a visual idea of the things that you would want to use in clusters. What else? The traveling journal is on its way. It's gonna arrive soon, I'm sure. We have challenge number 15 for our projects of 26 challenge. Challenge number 15 is an envelope, any kind of envelope. I don't care if you make it yourself, if it's a big envelope like this, a coin envelope, a small letter envelope, whatever it is, okay? An envelope, and then use some kind of wax on it. Now, crayons are wax. Gelato is considered wax. Buffing wax, rub and buff, all that kind of stuff. That's all, within the realm of wax. So use all of those. There is, today is the 12th. So tomorrow we're going to have a craft with me. Then we're going to have Friday Night Nuts. We'll have mixed media on Saturday. I am sorry about last week, guys. I was just, no. We'll also have our regular Build a Journal 101 class in the morning. Sunday, we have our regular game. And then on Monday, it's going to be a Monday mixed media mini morsel. And so you guys get a additional video that week. And that is going to be embossing basics. It's not the kind of embossing that we just did where you run the paper through the machine. This is the heat tool embossing. So if you've been wondering about how to do that, I have some tips and techniques for you there. And it is very basic. I'll go into deeper stuff in another video. Also, Mari's birthday is the 20th. So if you want to send her a card or something or wish her happy birthday, it's on the 20th. The 21st is my good friend Esther. And I think that's that. And I think that's everything. This week we are going to be doing I think we're doing a second week, or we may have done a second week. I don't know. 5B. Okay, so this week we're gonna get together and we're gonna this is what we're doing. We're gonna be putting what I just did today. We're gonna be making getting our template out. We're gonna be making the holes, and we're gonna be talking about stitching. So make sure that you have a spare piece of cardstock or paper, it doesn't matter, that you can practice on, and some string that you're not going to use to bind your book. Doesn't matter what kind of thread or string or whatever it is, but you want to make sure that it's extra because you don't want to use what you're going to use for your book because you may break it down, you know, like wear it out. We don't want to do that. I'm going to show you guys how to stitch in the signatures. That is this week. And then the only thing we have left is the covers and closures. We're also going to talk about, because some people are a little bit behind as far as like putting the stuff on the pages. We're also going to be, because we're doing so, we're going to be putting this together. We're going to be talking about the difference between working like I work, where the pages are out of the journal, and working the way some other people work, where they put all their pages in the journal and then they decorate. There's a difference to it. So we're going to be talking about that as well. Okay. I want to thank you guys, everybody who's gone on this Journal 101 with me, this little trip, because you guys have helped me to pinpoint things that I didn't include that I needed to include, things that became repetitive. And I appreciate that. I really do. Your feedback has been fantastic. But that's it, guys. I am out of here. Listen, if you want to get a copy of my schedule, you can do that here on the YouTube channel. Just go to the community tab or the post tabs or whatever the heck they're calling it now. And you can get a copy of my schedule. You can also get a copy of my schedule by going down into the description and clicking on the more button. It drops down and gives you all of my socials, gives you my Facebook group, my email address, everything that you need to stalk me or contact me. Either way. But I think that's it. Listen, until I see you again, play in the rain, roll in the grass, have fun, do stupid stuff. Why? Because you can, because you're old and people will just look at you and go, oh my God, they've lost their mind. Stay hydrated, stay well. I love you guys, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye, guys. Love you.